Good afternoon. Welcome to Gospel on Demand. I'm your host, Gospel Mellow. And I'm here. I had two guests this afternoon, but this evening, I guess it's considered evening. But one called out. She's very important. She'll be on the show one day this month. And we have another guest, Rhein. And she is a foster care outreach specialist.
Exactly.
I was afraid I got it wrong. Yes, you're talking to the mic. And her organization is a well-needed organization in the community. And she'll give you like an insight about her operation, everything she do, and that's everything. Okay, what's your name?
Lisa Rhein. You had that right.
Oh, Rhein?
Yeah. Rhein. That was close, though. What'd you say?
I can't say Rhein.
Yeah, you did, but it's,
Rhein.
you know. Oh, sorry. Okay. Alright, is this better?
Yes.
Better? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't know if
okay.
listeners can hear you.
Alright. That's the point, right? So,
yes, I'm glad you can make it. Nice to meet you. I'm
Nice
Mello.
to meet you too.
And did you tell people to watch?
I did, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
hello, everyone. Thank you. Wow, I've never been that close up before. Let me fix myself. You know, I'm sporting the Egg Gospel on Demand t-shirt. Can y'all see it on the camera? It's Egg Gospel on Demand. Egg Gospel Mello. Follow us on Twitter.
And you can follow NBFS on Twitter too. That's the organization that I work for. It's called Northern Virginia Family Service.
Yes.
And they've got a Facebook page and a Twitter as well.
All right. So, just give me you said the name of it is Northern Virginia Family
Service. Yeah.
Services. And when did it start?
In 1924, actually.
Wow.
It started a long time ago. Yeah, it was back in, and we're in Northern Virginia, so we cover that area. Alexandria, Falls Church, Loudoun, Fairfax, Manassas, down to Fredericksburg. So that whole area is what we cover. But we got started in Alexandria because there were children there who needed coats and coal, actually, for their homes to keep them warm. So that's back when the first things that the organization started doing was providing coal and coats in Alexandria in 1924. So it's been around more than 80 years. And then the foster care program has been around for over 30 years. The therapeutic foster care program, yeah. So we've been around a long time. We're one of the oldest in Northern.
And still going strong.
The oldest, yes, exactly. So I think we're doing a lot right.
Okay. So yes, I had a question in my head about what was the question? It wasn't even on this pertaining. So
we have an hour, right? So
yeah.
Take your time.
So it's two. It's kind of like two organizations in one, or is it just? I know you do foster care and family services, right?
Right.
So is it just plain old foster care, or do y'all do like other things?
Exactly.
As family.
Right. That's a really good question because we do a lot of things.
Okay.
So within Northern Virginia Family Service,
yes.
Also we can refer to it as NBFS.
Okay. NBFS.
So within NBFS,
yes.
There are a number of different programs that serve the community.
Right.
We have a shelter for homeless people who are homeless. We have a food bank that serves the community. We have something called Training Futures, which is a program that helps people who want to get into a better field, better position in workforce. Yeah, so they can come there and learn skills and actually get college credit for doing that.
Okay, that's awesome.
We also have something called Health Access, which helps people get access to things that they're in need of in terms of prescriptions and dental care. I know now I'm thinking I'm going to leave one of our programs out, and hopefully they won't feel bad, but we have a number of programs like housing programs for people in it's emergency assistant housing.
So is it just for Virginia residents or is it for
people living in Virginia?
Okay.
You know, that's a good question. I have to get back to you.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't want to answer incorrectly on air, you know, but primarily we serve our
Virginia community.
yeah, Virginia community. And
Northern Virginia.
exactly. There was something else that I was going to say. Oh, I was saving it till last, and that's early Head Start and Head Start programs also, which are really helpful for families.
So did y'all start out as a non-profit or?
We are a non-profit.
Oh, y'all still are?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. That's even better. I thought, no, there's nothing wrong with people getting businesses to help others, but I didn't know that the way your company sounds like it's kind of large, and I didn't really expect it to be non-profit. That's great.
Yes, we are a non-profit, and it is one of the larger ones in Northern Virginia, and we do have a lot of different. Oh, I see. I'm thinking of some of the things I forgot, like that we have a trauma. We help people who are here, may have immigrated here or have had trauma in their lives. So that's the multi-human service part of the organization. So
one of the many parts.
One of the many parts, yeah.
Like, I don't really know too much about foster care. I was trying to do a little bit of research before the interview, but
well, it's not, it's not something that people come in contact with or experience, and there's often a lot of confidentiality about what's happening, and so you don't hear the stories per se. After maybe a child's been in foster care and they are an adult, they might talk about their experience, but
matter of fact, my mom, I think she was a foster child. It's not funny, but I'm laughing because, I mean, we don't really, she probably talked to me when I was a child about it, but she didn't really talk, we get deep in the conversation about it. All I know is that, you get moved and moved and moved place to place, you travel a lot. And
that can happen.
And you travel not by choice.
Yes, that can happen for a variety of reasons. Oftentimes, well, the way that children come about, or youth end up being in our care, is that they are not being cared for in their homes in a safe way.
So like somebody neglecting the child.
Exactly. Like, not taking care of them, neglecting them in terms of, physical, emotional, psychologically, just neglecting them or abusing them in all of those ways as well. So the way that a child comes into our care is that they have had some experience that's come to somebody's attention. So that person makes a report about it, and then somebody goes and figures out if something is going on. And then if that's the case and the child is not safe, then they're brought into care, brought into foster care. It's not taken lightly at all. It's a very serious thing to have that happen. But if it happens, then you can be sure that the child needs to be in a safer place, and that's what we provide for them. Actually, often when I'm talking, I have this ladybug that I throw up in the air when I'm introducing myself, and I think of it as kind of, in foster care, what we do is we kind of figuratively and literally sometimes we catch children before they're dropped again, or before they're in an unsafe situation. So, and then we put them in with a family, a foster family, and then in that foster family, while they're there, the family whom they were were removed from. It could be their biological parents, or it could be grandparents, whoever was taking care of them, is given services to help them to be able to learn how to keep their child safe, learn how, you know, maybe anger management classes, or...
So your company offer all those?
We do offer those. We do.
Guardians?
Yeah, we do offer those.
Okay, so y'all have the whole package. Just in case you do this, we have this. But just in case you do this, we have that. So wherever it like fits any family, any situation, your company.
Well, we don't have everything. For instance, some parents need to have, they need to go to drug rehabilitation because they have a problem with drug use. So, you know, we don't offer that. So, can't say we offer everything, but services are put in place by the counties or the jurisdiction from which the children came. Those services are put into place for the children, or for the parents of the children, caretakers, to help them learn and do what they need to do so that the children can return to them and be safe. And so, you know, sometimes it's parenting, sometimes drug rehabilitation, financial courses to help them to learn how to care for themselves and have a place, because sometimes children end up in care because of, well, more beyond homelessness, but that's one piece of it.
I heard the screen went out.
Yeah, I was fixing that.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. So, how do you serve the youth in the community?
Well, when they're placed in foster care, that's really serving them to help them. You know, yeah.
That's a major help.
Yeah. So while they're in foster care, they have, besides the fact that they are being cared for in a family, and you know, with food and shelter and all of that, the foster parents are just providing a home away from home often. So it's you know. And I've spoken with many foster children, you know, at the time it might not always seem to be a help, because children always want to be with their parents, regardless of what they've experienced from those parents. However, we know it's a safer place for them for that time, and oftentimes they look back on it knowing that it was a help to have been there. And you were talking about your mom going from, or what you know of people going from place to place, and now there's laws to help to prevent that from happening, so that if a child is in foster care, we, you know, people as a state, we have the law says that we need to find them a permanent family within a certain amount of time. So if they're, say, within, you know, they're placed in a foster home, those parents have a period of a year and a half to do what they need to do so the children can return home. But if they're not able to return home, then another place is found for them where they can be safe. And during the time that the children are in foster care, they visit, if it's appropriate, they visit and spend time with their parents as well. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's a lot.
There's a lot.
So how long have you been
I've
doing
been
this?
For about 5 years.
Okay.
I was a crisis resource room teacher before going back and getting my master's in social work. And my first position with NBFS was as a caseworker. So I worked directly with the children and the families. And then I became what's called a trainer, which I then was in a position when somebody came to us and said they wanted to be a foster parent. I taught the training so that they would know how to be a foster parent.
Wow.
And then now, most recently, my title is outreach specialist, so that I can go out and help people learn about how to be a you know, foster parent, and that we need foster parents.
Need more.
We need more foster
Hope your
parents.
listeners listening. Need more foster parents.
There was something else you asked me, got me thinking.
But how can someone become a foster parent?
Well, they say that they want to be a foster parent, and they can call us, and we have, or they can go to our website. There's a great way to connect.
Are there specific guidelines?
The guidelines are Well, when we talk with you on the phone, the first thing you would do is fill out an inquiry form, and we'd find out, you know, what it is, why it is you want to do this, and what your goals are, and see if we are thinking along the same lines. If your idea of what you're going to be doing is in sync with what actually happens. And then, you know, you have to be over 21, and you have to have a home and a room.
Income?
Income, yes.
What's the minimum, you think?
I don't know. I probably shouldn't even guess. You know, yeah, I don't know.
But you have to have
actually, you know what it
income.
is? The income you have to be able to provide for yourself and take care of yourself and whatever family you have. If you say you're interested in becoming a foster parent, Mello. All right, so then that means that wherever you're living now, you have to be able. You're paying for the place in which you live, and you pay for your food, and you're self-sufficient, so to speak. So that's one of the requirements, yeah. And then, you know, because, and I don't think it's any secret, there's a bit of a stigma sometimes about foster parents, maybe, you know, doing it for the money, and so
that's what I heard. That's another thing I heard.
Mm-hmm.
That they pay X amount of money a month for you to take care of a child.
Exactly.
Is that true?
That's true. That's true. You get what's called a stipend. Okay. And that's why we want to make sure you can provide for yourself before you have a foster child in your home, because we don't want you using the money that is for that foster child.
Yeah, to provide for both of you.
Exactly. Exactly. So, so we want to make sure you have a proper income, and then it's called a stipend. The money that you get to take care of a foster child is to provide for them and their needs. And, you know, it covers pretty much everything. And then we have Medicaid for medical needs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to ask, do y'all work like hand in hand with other organizations to like cover, say for instance a child comes in as a client to y'all, but it have other needs that y'all don't cover. Do y'all work hand in hand with other organizations to make sure those child's needs are met as well as y'all?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. So if a child, you know, often when a child comes into care, they're in need of some therapy to help them work through the difficulties that they've had. So we use our resources to find therapists that will help provide therapy for the child, or and the schools as well. Our caseworkers go to the schools and meet with the team that figures out that a lot of children that come into foster care are delayed, so they might need special education services. So we work hand in hand with them, figuring out what's needed to put those services in place.
So y'all work hand in hand with the county also?
Mm-hmm. Well, the county is the one who has the custody of the child.
Oh, I mean, you know,
no, that's yeah. So we work hand in hand with them because they're the ones who have custody, and then we're working with them because they're put in one of our foster homes.
Because I know I had a couple guests a couple shows ago, and they had like a tutoring and mentoring program for the youth, and they were telling me how difficult it is to like go into the child's school to talk to the teachers and stuff like that, because they're not the guardians. And it's like everywhere they turned, it was a block. A block. So it kept sending them in different directions. All they wanted to do was help the child.
Right.
And it was a non-profit organization, but they were saying that DC, it was kind of hard. So when they moved out Maryland, or relocated business out Maryland, they was like slipping through. So it was kind of easier in other states. I don't know why. I guess it's easy for you, for y'all too.
Right.
I don't know, maybe because DC don't have any counties, we just have council members. I guess each county is different.
Right, and well, actually, you say each county is different, and that's even true in Virginia, because we work with with different counties,
Okay.
so we might have a different experience with, Arlington compared to Fairfax compared to Loudoun. So each county actually might have different requirements or policies and procedures that they run by, which might be different than what Fairfax or the city of Alexandria does. Yeah.
Well,
So.
I'm gonna take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back with Lisa. I call her Lisa Rhein, but it's Ryan. I don't know.
It works. It works. The important thing is to pronounce Northern Virginia Family Service.
NVFS.
Yeah, MVFS.
We're going to play. Looking for a song.
Hello.
Hi. So we're not on now?
Hello, how are you? Surgeon?
Oh, you have thin air right now.
Are you on
We gotta play a song.
She's okay?
Yeah, I'm playing. Yeah.
Fine. Go down.
Welcome back to Gospel of the Man. Play it again. Going back, if you have any questions about foster kids, you can call the phone at 202-292-0072. I've got to tell you that.
Oh,
Like, if you
okay.
have any questions, I can just plug my phone right up there. And we can hear.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
So, if you have any questions for,
Lisa.
no, I want to get the last name right, Ryan. I like the way it's spelled.
Yeah, it's the German spelling.
Uh,
At least that's what I'm told. That's my married name. So I thought it was going to be easier when I got married, but it actually is a little more
you
difficult.
hear that, fella? She's married, so don't hit on her.
Because it's art, spelled kind of problematically, really. Anyway.
I'm so excited. This is my first show actually about foster care. I know there's so many different shows. This is the first one.
Well, like I was saying on the break there, that this is one of our brochures, and it's got listed here all the different things that we provide to the foster parents. And I know I was also saying that a lot of people become foster parents because they want to help out. They want to help children in their community, and they either want to do that. Oftentimes they're moved by their religious organization, by God, or just a need to serve, to help others.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's mainly what it's about, helping.
Yeah. And we have a lot of endings that are positive for the families, where children return home and those parents have done what they needed to do so that they can have their child home, or sometimes when they're unable to return home, those children are able to be adopted by another family that's going to love and care and keep them safe. So yeah, it's good.
I bet you make plenty of friends there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
As far as the youth. That's good. You ever had any child come back to see you after you start working with them?
Oh, well, I haven't been there that long, in the schools,
Okay.
I could say.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. So, what's the age range that you primarily work with?
Anything from 0, like newborn, just born, like, a day old, what have you, 0, to 17. So, and when I say 17, that means up till their 18th birthday.
Okay.
And then when that happens, there's different things that can take place in terms of when they turn 18, they may be able to stay in foster care if they're in an educational program, like if they're going to college or things like that.
Okay. You were saying you haven't been there that long, but I was thinking in my head, I'm like, well, if you start working with someone when they turn 17, up to when they turn 18, they venture off for 2 years, 3 years. They could have came back.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, that's true.
So you could have had, so one day you'll have experience, then you can come back and share it with me.
Well, maybe the next time I come back to the show, I'll have that to share. And I know, you know, I actually there have been those experiences. Actually, now that I think about it, that experience has happened.
Oh, see?
Yes, because one of my first cases, she was a teenager and she's in college now,
Okay.
and she has been back by the office. So yeah, and well on her way to, you know, well actually she's in a very good place now, you know, in college and doing well. So.
That's great. Like she says, you're looking for more foster parents to step up.
Yeah, and one of the things I wanted to be sure to say is how important it is to spread the word, because it's not, it's, you know, you're taking a child into your home and saying that you're going to raise them. It's not something everybody's able or willing to do. You never know, though, who you're going to touch that is, or who you're going to tell about this that is ready to take that on. You know, so it could be you tell a neighbor who tells somebody else, and they're like, oh, you know, I've always thought about doing that, and how do I get in touch, and how do I find out about it? And I love what one of the churches that I went and spoke at said to me. They said that they appreciated me giving them an opportunity to serve, and I hadn't seen it like that before, but they saw that my coming there, you know, they want to help others, or they want to serve others, or serve God, and so they saw this as, oh, here's an opportunity as to how we can do that, because you're giving us, you know, a place to help out. So I think that spreading the word is important, because you don't know who out there has thought of doing this or wanted to do it, and just having a place to go. And we know also that it takes time of thinking about it.
Yeah.
So the first time somebody hears about it, they might even contact us, but then we might not hear from them again for another year. So there are those that say, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to do that. They come in, they do their training, and they're good. Yeah.
Now they're parents.
Now they're foster parents. That's right.
So you were saying, like they get paid X amount of money monthly from the government, correct? Or I mean from the county for having a foster child.
They get a stipend every month.
And you become the legal guardian once you.
No, the county is still the legal guardian.
So when it comes down to income tax time, can they claim the child or?
We actually, no, that's a good question, and we do have every year we send to our foster parents information on how to go about
Filing.
Yes, exactly.
I know it's that time of year.
Right.
And I know it's getting ready to file.
Yeah, we ought to be sending that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know exactly how they go about claiming it and all that.
Are y'all hiring? Are y'all hiring?
Oh.
The company.
Oh. Are we hiring at MVFS? Well, you know, if you go on our website, there's a careers section that you can look at, and it tells you what's available. So we're always looking for people to do different things. There's usually
I know someone, she has a master's degree in child psychology and a bachelor's in social work. I might have a bachelor's, but either way, I know she has a social work degree and a child psychology degree. And she was trying to get a job in DC, but you gotta have the special license for social. Do y'all have to have a license too?
actually to be a worker in foster care. You do not have to have that license. In Virginia, you have to there's certain positions that require you to be a licensed clinical social worker, but for working in foster care, you don't need to have that. So I think the requirement, I don't want to misspeak, but I think the requirement is just that you have a bachelor's in social work. Almost all, I think if not all of our caseworkers have a master's in social work.
Yeah, I know she have a master's, because she went, matter of fact, right across the street to Howard. She graduated from Howard University.
One of our caseworkers graduated from
She
Howard.
worked for PG County in the youth developmental, youth developmental program that the county have. I hope she's watching. I'm not gonna tell her. She should have been watching. She missed the opportunity. Oh well. But let's get back to.
I was thinking about some of the things that I wanted to be sure to say, and that is about getting the word out, because it's, you know, not everybody, and we always need more foster parents, and that's because people who are currently foster parents. Oops. Are we still going?
Yeah, you guys are still going. So, sorry.
Oh, just keep going.
It's yeah, but you're still alive.
Okay, that's fine.
Don't worry
We're
about
still alive.
I really don't. I don't know how you do that. There's for anyone that's listening, there's a lot of distractions around here.
Actually, this is the first time.
And
then they ordered pizza and.
We don't know who ordered the pizza.
Oh, who ordered pizza? How bad? I'm hungry.
So it's
yeah, today, like, I started on October 7th. And today is actually the first Sunday that this has been going on. Today is the first day.
okay.
That all this, normally it's just me, the guest, and the engineer. They normally be closed. I
Okay.
guess there's something special going on at Howard or something.
But I heard them saying that they're going to be open on Sundays now, so
Yeah.
that sounds like a good thing for your radio station, though.
Yeah, but then I have to get used to.
Yes, to that. Yeah, I'm definitely.
I'm glad I had my back to it.
Well, so I was wanting to say about, I think one of the important things to beyond the fact that, you know, definitely if you want to become a foster parent, that would be, you know, awesome, and we'd love to have you, and they can give us a call if they go to the NVFS website. But beyond that, we would welcome the opportunity to come and speak at churches, to let people know how foster care works and what it's all about. Also, just something just like this, putting up a flyer in a community rec area, at the coffee shop, at library, where people can take information about how to become a foster parent.
Yeah, I would take that and see if I could post it up at church.
Yeah, that's helpful too. And because, like I said, it's a matter of letting people know that there's this opportunity out there that if they wanted to become a foster parent, to help youth who are in crisis, give them a place to live, a safe place to live. It's one way to do it. I just look at our brochure, and something that comes to mind is the adoption piece too. When children aren't able to return to their caregivers and they're can be adopted, then that's something else that if you're a foster parent, if the parents can't care for the children and relatives can't, then as a foster parent you might be looked to take on that responsibility. So some people choose to be foster parents so that they can provide be a forever family and adopt a child from foster care. That happens too. And that keeps a child from, like you were saying, going from home to
Place to
home.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I can handle it. Those children have to be strong mentally. Like, it just seems like it's too much, but your company kind of make it seem like it's a little easier. Well, probably way easier.
Well, I know that as a program, our agency has good statistics in regards to children remaining in the same home and not being moved from home to home.
That had to be great.
Mm-hmm. What else do you want to talk about? What other questions do you have?
Covered it last. Like, I mean, you can give out the name of the company, the website, email address, the number.
Okay.
Everything, so people contact you.
Well, the website is www.nbfs.org, and then / foster care if you wanted to go directly to the foster care piece. But if you went to www.nbfs.org, on the home page, there's a place that you can go to foster care from there also.
And the Facebook is NVFS.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's just. No, I thought it's a Northern.
Is it Northern Virginia Family Service?
Yeah, I think so. I like the page. Yeah, I think it says Northern Virginia
Family Service.
See?
Okay.
I haven't been on the Twitter yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to
I
follow
see
you
you
on Twitter.
Right, I see you have a lot of Twitter followers.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, like 2,000 or something, right? Well,
Yeah, one page I have 2 different pages. One for the radio show, one for Gospel Mellow.
okay. Is there
So I
something?
have 2 for the radio station. God Radio Show DC, and Gospel on Demand. And Gospel Mellow.
Well, the phone number to call for information would be 571-748-2557, and then you would get in touch with our the supervisor of training and placement of children, and she would either be able to give you information or let you speak with somebody else who could give you information. That's her direct phone number. So it's 571-748-2557. I always, when I listen to the radio and I hear numbers given out, I'm always wishing they'd give them out like, right now I'd be getting pen and paper still. So now maybe I'd have the pen and paper and I'd hope they'd say it one more time.
Yeah,
So, okay.
Right.
So it's 571-748-2557. And I do, I will say too, it's Northern Virginia, so you have to live in that area, because I know you were broadcasting here in D.C., so that's
Loudoun, Fairfax, Arlington.
exactly.
And that's it?
Loudon, Alexandria, where else?
I don't know, Virginia's so big.
Because you mentioned a bunch of them, but I think you got them all, yeah. So so
Alexandria is in
Virginia.
what county?
Well, parts of it depends. There is actually a part of it that's in Fairfax County, but there's the city of Alexandria.
Okay. I don't understand that.
Well, we have children coming into our care from all of those areas, so we like to have homes in all of those areas to place children in.
Okay. And do you have, is there a hotline if you think some child is being neglected?
So, well, actually, you would call Child Protective Services.
You don't have that number, do you?
No, I don't have the CPS number off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
But when you become a foster parent, you can become a mandated reporter, which means that if you think you are witnessing abuse and neglect, you have to report it by law. But it's good for any citizen, actually, who sees something that they think is not right to make a report.
You have to. And it's not called snitching, it's called helping. You're not snitching.
That's true.
You're helping.
That's true.
What if it was your child? Oh, and I've been seeing some crazy things on the news about children in daycare, how they're being abused, physically abused by I'm gonna say adult youth workers.
Oh.
Yeah, I seen one. It was out in Maryland, so I think it was in PG County. And I guess the guy was like 18 years old. They had an 18-year-old boy watching like 20 kids, and he was abusing the little kids.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually you asked me about how you become a foster parent,
Yes.
and one of the things that we do is background checks. So we do, you know, a criminal background check, we fingerprint, we do a child protective, you know, we check on the whether or not there's been any allegations of abuse. We also do a I'm thinking DMV, a driver's,
driver record?
yes, motor vehicle record. So we
Can't have
check
no
all
hit and
those.
runs.
Right. Well, there are, you know, certainly barrier crimes that would prohibit you from becoming a foster parent. Right. There's certain things you could not have done, you know, and then be a foster parent. And then the process is going through a training. It's 27 hours of training, and then all of these checks, and then you are interviewed by a worker. You have 3 different interviews with that person individually, and your home is visited and checked and made sure that it's safe and sufficient. So
Just popped up really good. Not to mean, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go
but
ahead.
Do y'all go like in the community, like door to door or something? Like, what other ways? I know you mentioned the church and things like that. What other ways do you go to get to spread the word? What other things do you participate in, or have you participated in the past?
right, like an event, if there was a fair or an event that, like you were saying, no, somebody else here was saying they were from Lorton, and actually there's a place there that holds events that, or a celebration, like one year I was at Martin Luther King celebration, the Clifton Days, Manassas African American Festival, Vienna Chamber of Commerce. There's different people that hold events. I would go to those events. I've spoken at different groups, school and church, homeschool groups, therapeutic groups. You know, people who want to help kind of tend to hang out in the same places. So if you go to a therapeutic riding where people help children with riding on horses, that kind of thing. So, and let me think, some of the other ways I've reached out. Well, through Facebook and
Craigslist. I think that's
actually, that's funny.
Contact you off of Craigslist.
Yes, Craigslist. Some of the social media that's available. And also actually mailing hard copy, you know, mailing letters to different organizations and churches.
I haven't think about that one. I mean, I haven't thought of that idea. Man, it's so high tech now.
Exactly, right. But when you mailing something like this, then it enables people to get it in the mail and put it up on their bulletin board where people might see it. But you're right. The social media is really the best, one of the better approaches. Like you said, you found us on Craigslist.
Yes. And normally what I do, like once you come on the show, we're family. So if I hear of any events that you could either sponsor or advertise it, I'll let you know. And vice versa.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the most important part, the most important thing of this show. I don't really get anything out of doing this show. I just want to help spread the word. Any word that's helping someone else. Like your program, it helps someone. So there's no problem bringing you on to advertise your organization.